Hi, I'm Netter, and this is Netter's Network. A couple of weeks ago on Thursday Things, I debuted my video for how to make my homemade cough drops. They're all natural and really great for you, and they really do help when you're feeling the ick. I also released it as a standalone video. After I did that, I had people asking me, well, what about that other recipe you're always talking about? The honey, lemon, ginger in a jar. Are you going to do a video on that one? And I was thinking, well, it's really simple. It's honey, lemon, ginger in a jar. Then I had people asking me, is it really that simple? Yes, it actually is. It really is just honey, lemon, ginger in a jar. And I'm going to show you how to make it. I have 3 lemons here. I'm probably not going to use all 3. I'll probably use at least 2, possibly 2.5. And before using these, I made sure to give them a quick rinse. Reason being is, well, you have to think about it. They've been growing on a tree, were picked, shipped in grocery stores, a bunch of people handling them. I didn't want any dirt or ick on my lemons that I'm going to be consuming, so I just gave them a quick rinse. Next, you're going to need your crystallized ginger. I poured some in a bowl here for easier access, and I'm probably not going to use all of this. You can also use fresh ginger root and just cut it into small pieces. I prefer the crystallized ginger because I can store it in my pantry and not have to worry about it going bad. Next is your honey. Now this is an older jar of honey that I have that I want to use up. It's already starting to crystallize because it's older. I turned it upside down to get as much honey as I can to the bottom, and then what I'm going to do is put it in this bowl with some hot water and try and soften it up so I can use it. Normally I would suggest putting it in the microwave in a bowl of water and using 30-second bursts until it's a nice runny consistency that you can use. However, the last time I put plastic like this in the microwave, it kind of melted and deformed, and I don't want that. So I'm going to try this method, which I've never used before, but it's got to be better than melting plastic in the microwave. What I'm going to do is place it here in the bowl. I've already heated up the water in my tea kettle. I'm just going to pour it in, and I'm going to let this sit while I'm prepping everything else. And hopefully this works and does not deform my plastic honey jar. I think what I'm going to do in the future is anytime I bring home honey in a plastic jar, I'm going to transfer it to a glass jar, just because if I do have to heat it up to try and soften it from it becoming crystallized, I don't have to worry about melting plastic in my honey. If you've ever watched my husband's channel, Last Call, then you know that whenever he talks about buying liquor, he says to buy it in glass jars rather than plastic, because the plastic will break down over time, and that's not good. That's why I'm going to be transferring my honey from a plastic jar to a glass one, because I don't want that in any food that I'm consuming. While our honey is sitting in the hot water and hopefully softening up, I'm going to start slicing the lemons. I'm going to slice these as equal as I can. If they're not perfect, don't worry about it. It's not really a big deal. And now what I'm going to do is cut them into fourths. This is 2 of the lemons. I'm going to hold off slicing the 3rd one until I see where I'm at and see if I actually need it. Now I'm going to start slicing up the crystallized ginger. Something to keep in mind when you're cutting up the ginger is you don't want huge slices. You want them to be approximately this size. So all I'm doing is cutting the ginger into slices and then cutting those slices in half again. I'm going to stop right now and do a reality check to see if I need to slice up any more lemon or ginger. I'm going to start off first with putting the lemon in the jar, and then the ginger, then the lemon, then the ginger, until I get about halfway. Then I'm going to add some honey to that. Hopefully my honey is ready. Right now I have a really nice layer of lemon in here. So now I'm going to put my ginger in. The ginger does not have to be an equal amount of lemon. You're going to have more lemon than ginger in there. The ginger is a very strong spice, so you don't need as much of it. Now that I have my ginger on top of my lemon, I'm going to repeat lemon, then ginger, until I get it about halfway. So now I have this halfway filled with the ginger and lemon. Time to see if my honey is ready to be poured. Now, sorta. See if taking the lid off helps any. Some. Now that's a bit better. I'm going to let this sit and see if I can get some more down to the top. Let me see if I can get the honey down to the bottom of the jar. I'm just using a spoon to get the honey down to the bottom, because sometimes little air pockets form and you want to make sure that the honey gets all the way down to the bottom. When it's all said and done, it should look like this one. Now that I've got it halfway filled, I can do that reality check to see, do I need more lemon or more ginger? I definitely don't need more lemon. I'm really good on that. But I will need to cut up some more ginger. So after I do that, I'm going to continue doing alternate layers of lemon and ginger until I get to the top, and then I'm going to add more honey. Okay, I have my lemon and ginger to the top of the jar. Now it's time to top it off with the honey. Fortunately, I have another jar of honey that I can use that is going to be much easier to pour. Once it's filled to the top with honey, add your lid. Now you want to place this in your refrigerator. Ideally, it's good to let it sit for at least 24 hours so the juices have a chance to mix together. But you could feasibly use it within like an hour or two if you really need to use it. You can see the difference between these two jars. This is one that I made a few days ago and it's been sitting in my refrigerator. And this is the one I just made. You can see that the color is a little bit different. And for this one, you can see the liquid moving inside the jar. So there you have it. Honey, lemon, ginger, and a jar. It really is as easy as it sounds. Now that I have my honey, lemon, ginger in a jar already, I'm going to make some tea. All I'm going to do is take 2 tablespoons of the mixture, making sure I get some of the lemon and ginger slices, and of course I want some of that juice. And I do about 2 tablespoons. Now I'm going to add my hot water. and enjoy a wonderful cup of tea. Oh, by the way, if you find you have leftover lemons, there are several different uses for them. You can either add more to your tea, you can add them to warm water, or here's a nice trick. If your garbage disposal is starting to smell kind of ick, put some lemon slices down there and hit frappe. It will really make it smell so much nicer. I hope you all enjoyed this video, and until next time, stay healthy.